Cool. Okay. I guess I'll get started because it is around 11:30. So welcome everyone. Welcome to our talk entitled "From Zero to Repo in 60 Seconds with Cloudsmith." There's a longer title in the actual talk. I wanted to save the words, and it gets the point across a little clearer. So don't worry, you're in the right room. Now, in the interest of your time, I'm going to save you the author slide here and just talk about myself. So I'm Adil Leghari. I lead up the solution architecture team here at Cloudsmith. I'm passionate about pipelines, DevOps, and automation, and also PowerShell. You can find me online at Adilio on Twitter, GitHub, and the socials. But I'm also live here in Meetspace and fully vaccinated. So feel free to stop by the booth and have a quick chat and get a free T-shirt if you want as well. So without further ado, let's get started. So who are we? Who's Cloudsmith? So we are your universal cloud-native artifact repository. We are a fully SaaS platform that provides a global cloud-native, secure, and universal home for all of your software artifacts, whatever and wherever they may be. So think about it as sort of your everything repo, any package, any format, anywhere in the world. Now, I'm going to break down these points a little more in detail later on in the talk, but for now, I want to give you a quick summary, kind of because I really don't want to bury the lead here. I want to get y'all right into the demo, because once you see how truly easy it is to set up, everything else is just going to really click and fall into place. So we are global in that every package uploaded to our platform, even on our free core plan, is automatically available in 225 plus points of presence around the world. We are cloud native in that we were born in the cloud and designed from the ground up to offer a fully managed SaaS scalable solution. We are secure in that we support your SSO, single sign-on, and MFA vendors of choice. We also provide fine-grained access control, and we scan for malware and CVEs for every artifact. And we are universal in that we support over 28 package formats, even all in the same multi-format repository, and we integrate with your existing CI/CD, observability, and security tooling. So, without further ado, I actually do want to get right into the demo to show this off a little bit. So, if you all can see my screen there, I'm going to slide over. Perfect. And now we are actually already logged in. So, I'm logged into my Gmail account here called Adil's Demo. So for that reason, I can use the Google single sign-on link here. Just click there, and there you go. I'm already logged in. So it's going to warn me that I don't have MFA. Obviously, set up MFA if you can. I'm not going to do it because it's a demo account. First step is to create a new organization. So it's as simple as this. We just give it the org name, demo in this case. I define my storage and bandwidth requirements. Now these are just the best guess, of course, and an estimate. These don't have to be hard and fast. We grow with you, so we have different plans to match your different growing needs. And I will specify a use case. In this case, I'm centralizing package management across my organization. I will agree to the terms of service. I will say I'm not a robot, even though I may be, and I'll click create. And within a few seconds here, it should pop up with my organization. So that's really how quick it is. So I just logged in, I created an org, and I'm ready to go. There's my organization. I can click on this org, and now I can say looking for repositories and create a new repository. So if you're familiar with the GitHub model, this is very similar in the layout and the UI. So in here, I can give my repository a name. In this case, I'll just call it demo. I'll give a default region, which is closest to me. I'm going to say, shall we say Ohio? Sure, why not? And I'll say it's private for now. We do support public and open source repos as well. And I'll click create. And it really just is that simple. So within about a minute, I logged in, I set up my organization and my repository. And now, of course, what I can do here is I have this nice contextual documentation. So I can click on set me up here. I get this nice drop down. So for every different package format, we have individual contextual docs for how to set up this repository locally in your native tooling. So if I was to pick NuGet here, because I'm a little bit of a NuGet fan, I can go in here and it actually describes exactly how to set it up in each native CLI. So whether that's a chocolatey command for adding my source, a NuGet command, or even a PowerShell command for a PowerShell repo, it's defined here, and you get the nice little copy to clipboard so you can get that set up natively quickly in your own command tooling. So nice and simple. You have everything in there. I'm going to spend a little bit of time in there before I go back to the slides, just to highlight a few more things. So in my repository here, of course, this, again, if you recognize GitHub, this is a similar UI. I have the ability to set up access controls here. So this is your standard role-based access control. You have the team, you have specific users, and certain default organization level read-write access that you can define. In addition to that, one of the big security things that we have is entitlements. So this is one of the great features. So think of it as an API token that you can define as read-only. So if I create a token here, I get a lot of granularity here and control. So I can set up any search term I want. I can restrict the search by package name, by extension, by version, even architecture, license, whatever I want. I can basically, if I can think of it, I can basically define that search restriction for this individual entitlement token. So this read-only user is only going to get that, see those specific packages. Any usage restrictions I can define by, of course, time window, download bandwidth, IPs, and you can get really creative here. So basically metadata, we let you define any JSON you want. So you can actually fully define a specific search term or a specific metadata tag that you wanted to search for, and only give visibility to those individual things. So this is a real superpower of Cloudsmith, is you have the granularity of being able to control access to your repository for individual apps, services, or users, or even customers. A lot of distribution users use that. In addition to that, of course, you can enforce a EULA. We have some license compliance pieces there, and also you can actually check for the license that there's not in this individual repository. But let's say if I go over here to an existing one and I look for license compliance here, we'll see different licenses, and it'll break it down by different license types and total packages there too. Of course, we offer upstream proxying. So if you're familiar with virtual repos or proxy repos in Nexus or Artifactory, that's exactly the equivalent there where we have an upstream you can define for certain repo types. Now that's available for a handful of formats, and we're adding more as we go. I believe the recent addition, if I'm correct, Allison's in the crowd, is Ruby, right? We just did launch Ruby, so that's great. Of course, you have webhooks here, so you can also drive webhooks. So when a package is uploaded or other specific actions occur in your repository, you can create a webhook to drive an external service if you need that to happen. That we provide a URL and prevent subscriptions that you can subscribe to as well. So I'm going to bounce back the slides here, but if y'all have any questions, feel free to shout them out, and I can stop at any point. So let's swap over here, get back to the demo. So let's talk about the points that I made earlier a little bit more. So firstly, we talked about that package delivery network, or PDN. So those 225 plus points of presence that are highly available globally. Now, that's not just a fancy CDN, right? There's really another layer to that. We do compute at the edge as well. So that authentication authorization piece is also happening at the edge node. It's not just a fancy CDN. So what this means is that if your goal is to collaborate on code with a globally distributed dev team, or to distribute your packaged artifacts to your international customer base, we've got you covered either way. So you can really, we meet multiple use cases in terms of that distribution network, and you don't pay any extra for this piece of it. This is table stakes, everybody gets this. So we are a cloud native platform, as I've said before. Again, born in the cloud, fully managed and scalable. So as a Cloudsmith user, right, you don't want to worry about scaling up or out more instances of your service just to deliver your software. So let us stress about that. Set up patching and maintenance for you of the back end, and allow you and your devs to stay productive and focused on that core mission of delivering your app or service. And also for your peace of mind, of course, we back our service with world-class engineer-driven enterprise-level support. So we talked about security. Cloudsmith is a key component of securing your software supply chain. So we accomplish this in several ways, but I'm just going to highlight a few here. As I mentioned before, you can control access to your Cloudsmith org. You can gate it by a single sign-on provider of choice, whether that's Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Okta, GitHub. or even your internal SAML SSO provider. We support it. We obviously also support multi-factor authentication and multiple role-based access control models. We also offer these service accounts. Service accounts is a recent release to be able to have definable accounts specifically for your pipeline-based access, as well as those API entitlement tokens that I talked about. So the entitlement tokens are that fine-grained, flexible option. You can control it from all different ways of restricting package access, including custom metadata. So rest assured that every package that's uploaded to our platform is scanned for malware and has calculated checksums as well as generated GPG signatures. But in addition, for Docker OCI images specifically, they're scanned for vulnerabilities and CVEs are reported for them as well. Recently, and this is just, I'm not sure if this is a private beta now or public beta, but the SBOM support.
Oh, that's publicly available.
That's publicly available now, so awesome. So if y'all are fans of ChainGuard and SigStore and Cosign, if we now support the ability to store your generated SBOMs alongside your image as well. And we remain committed to do that for every package format that comes out with SBOM support. And of course, finally, we are that universal artifact platform. And we really lean into the universal part here. So Cloudsmith supports over 28 plus package formats, including dev, RPM, NuGet, Maven, NPM, Docker, and many, many more. We even offer a raw format for your custom packaging needs as well. We're also unique in that we give you the flexibility of hosting all these different package formats in the same multi-format repository. So we speak your language and abstract away the complexity of those multiple metadata feeds on the back end for your native tooling. But the real important point here is flexibility. So it's not necessary that you put all your packages in the same repository. The real point is it's flexible, as in it's up to you. So you can define how your organization groups your artifacts, whether that's dev, staging, or prod for pipeline-based access, or even split by teams. You just have the freedom of choice here. And as well, we of course also integrate with your existing CI/CD vendors out there. So the Circle CIs, the harnesses, the GitHubs, even Octopus, but also IAC vendors like Terraform and additional security and observability vendors out there too. So if your vendor of choice isn't on the list, not to worry, because we have multiple methods of interacting with our platform. We have a well-documented API, and we have this nice try it now API reference in our docs that you can play with. In addition, we support native command line tools for every format, so like npm or NuGet or Docker commands are going to work natively against our repos. And we also offer our own Cloudsmith CLI if you want to prefer to use a dedicated tool for your own pipelines. And so this last slide is just kind of leaning into the idea of universality, right? We have CI/CD tools out there like Circle CI or GitHub. We have observability tools like Splunk or Datadog or Slack or Honeycomb. We have security tools like Sneak, and obviously infrastructure tools like Ansible, Puppet, AWS Terraform, and of course all those different package formats. So we're really looking to solve that problem of having a disparate team with lots of different formats that you're dealing with. If you have a team that's developing, Maven code over here, and you have a team that's working on Docker images, wouldn't it be nice if you could actually have that all in the same repository, have that observability for your C-level staff to look in and see exactly what your package distribution is like, and whether you're meeting security compliance for all those different formats. So yeah, so that's my demo. I want to be conscious of time here, but I'm open to questions if you have them. Feel free to shout them out now. And again, if there aren't questions, it's totally cool. We are here, we are at the Cloudsmith booth, so feel free to reach out, come by for, just to have a chat and get a free t-shirt or some socks as well. So, yeah, open for question. Okay, well, have a great CDCon, everyone. Thank you for your time.